kind of want to discuss that too, because for whatever reason, like I just have a low opinion of myself, you know, and I've tried to maybe go back and really like determine like where did this, you know, sense of self-worth come from? Like that, you know, there's this part of me that just feels as though I have nothing to offer anybody, you know, like where did that come from? And, you know, like through some work, like I've been able to sort of pinpoint a little bit, you know, like, I think that, you know, when I was a child, my father wasn't around, like, as much as he could have been, you know, like he was there, but he wasn't there. And it made me feel as though, you know, like I had done something wrong, and like that must mean that there's something wrong with me. And so, you know, like go into all these different situations automatically thinking that I have something wrong with me because that's something that I picked up at such a young age, you know. So I have to go through this process of, well, that's not true. There is nothing wrong with me. And, you know, and really apply that to my actions from that point forward. And, you know, and it's just like anything else we talk about on this show. Like it's a process, it takes work, and it takes really, really diving deep into, you know, where we pick up these thinking patterns in order to make a change. And I mean, so that's been my experience with it up to this point. And, you know, like I said, it's 90-10. Sometimes it's a heavy 10. You know?
It's a heavy 10.
Yeah, it's confidence is interesting.
Yeah, I am so grateful for the process that you and I have got to go through, as far as getting to learn ourselves in that format, you know, and being able to go back through our lives and really look at where did this behavior come from, you know, why do I have such a low self-esteem? You know, a lot of that stuff, you know, I can agree with. Like it came from, you know, some opinions that were given to me by other people at a young age. But as I started getting older and I started recognizing empathy, right? I had empathy, and I would still do negative shit anyway. And so my behavior became a big determining factor on the opinion that I had of myself, you know. Being so involved with drugs and alcohol and violence and selfishness for so long, I would do things in a selfish manner that separated me from you spiritually, that separated me from you emotionally. Like I knew that I couldn't trust me to not steal from you, so I'm not going to trust you to get close to me, because once I reveal myself to you in that negative state, you will have to reject me. You have to. It's not a question of whether you will or not. You have to, because I am unacceptable. I steal from my parents. I steal from my friends. I have sex with anybody that will have sex with me. I continually put negative shit into my mind and my body. I'm always using and drinking. Everywhere I go, I'm breaking the law. People are in danger. I'm violent. All these negative things. And I know that they're negative at a deep level, right? I just don't have the confidence to change those things. I don't know that there's a different me inside of me until the pain becomes so great, right? The pain of being that person becomes so great that you get to a point where it's either die in that lifestyle or change. Now the confidence to change doesn't necessarily come right out of the gate, right? And it doesn't necessarily come the moment that it's realized inside of us that something needs to change. The confidence comes from the first 24 hours of sobriety.
Yep.
You know, wow, I made 24 hours honest, an honest 24, and that 24 turns into 48, you know, and we're starting to think, what is going on with me, you know, and as we build upon whatever it is we're trying to be sober from, you know, sobriety has turned into so much more than not drinking, right? For us, you know, sobriety has turned into not drinking, not using, for me, not smoking, right? You know, not eating foods that aren't in my current macro count or diet, if you will. You know, I think diet's a great word. Not everybody does, but you know, what's in my diet? What's in my media folder? You know, what am I looking at on social media? What are the things that I'm reading? You know, sobriety is emotional. It's all these things. You know, I got to have emotional sobriety, but I had to get clean off of drugs and alcohol first in order to start getting clean off of Twinkies and pie.
Right.
I had to, right? The thing of it was like I got sober, I put down the pipe, and I picked up the fork. And so the behavior didn't change that much. And that made me feel fucking worse.
Right.
You know, putting on all that weight made me feel worse. But I had these little wins from sobriety that made me continue to ask the question. So keep asking the question, right? Why, if I'm doing the next right thing according to all these sources, right? From people like us that are saying, I'm an alcoholic, my life is good today, and this is why, right? Which is what I'm saying. My life is good today because I found a level of confidence through action, through all these wins and failures over a period of time that put me in a place where I get to know myself really well. And when I get to know myself really well, I'm able to walk into a room confident that what I am doing in that room is the right thing. And so everywhere I go has to be brought with the right intention behind it. Otherwise, I'm living in ego. And when I'm living in my ego, then I'm taking back my selfish desires, and I'm going back to emotional intoxication, if you will. Mm-hmm. You know, I start going back to the negative media. I start going back to the food. You know, eventually it's going to take me back to a drink. And so sobriety is where it all started, but that's not where it's at today. Like I got to have all those things. Mm-hmm. You know, I got to have all of that. Mm-hmm. And so the way that I demonstrate that is through a continual practice of self-discipline in all those areas. That's how we demonstrate our confidence. That's how I demonstrate my confidence today. I don't know everything. I don't have all the right answers. I don't do everything correctly, perfectly, you know, but I'm willing to try. Mm-hmm. And when I say try, I mean fucking really try. Not just verbally. Like, I am willing to try to be a really good dad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really willing to try to be a great boss and be transparent on the show and bring a good message and all those things. Confidence is a trip, man, because I don't want to get it fucked up.
Right.